America. But obviously in Trump's America, this is exactly what he wants. And the idea that one person can get out of line and commit such a horrific crime as shooting two National Guardsmen that never, ever asked to be here. In fact, we know the young lady that lost her life, specifically, we're saying that this is a waste of time, but now you want to go against every single immigrant. That doesn't make sense. And it's frankly not who we are, because if that's the case, let's talk about the white supremacists and how many of them need to be kicked out of this country, because I can guarantee you, I can track down more crimes that they've committed, because overall immigrants have a lower crime committal rate than white supremacists. But we don't want to talk about that in this country.
Bro, what we not finna do is act like this wasn't a straight up gaslight job from Jasmine Crockett on national TV. Like, we ain't got eyes and ears and common sense. And she really got up there in Congress and accused Republicans of taking money from Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm talking about the Jeffrey Epstein, not some random dude in New York with the same name. And then had the audacity, the absolute unmitigated gall to get on TV and say, well, I said Jeffrey Epstein, not the Jeffrey Epstein. Like somehow that changes the context of what came out of her mouth. Let alone the cosplaying that she do, acting like she's ratchet and ghetto as she claims to be, because for some reason she believed that being ratchet is actually something that is proud to be when you're supposed to be representing your constituents, which leads to no results on behalf of the people that elected you and voted you in the first place as a public servant. And you would think all the deflection, all of the lying, all of the games that she play and how deceitful she is, she still, when all push come to shove, run into the Victim Olympics and do the race baiting, do the divisive rhetoric that you just heard talking about white supremacy. And at the end of the day, if you are in this country illegal, then you have to go. It's that simple. White supremacy has to do with nothing. The majority of the country is made up, if you want to be real, of white individuals. But white individuals are not the enemy whatsoever. They're legal, and if you're legal, then there's no problem and there's no issue. The same thing that with black culture. Black culture, I have come to find out, as I've learned and continue to come across individuals that are black, like within my family and so forth. Some individuals, I'm speaking to the majority, not the minority, and I'm not saying no one specific, but in black culture, some individuals within the black culture seem to think that the white individual, a white person, is their enemy, which I can guarantee you that they're not. The real enemy is other countries. We're talking about the individuals who think that, let's say, for example, China, right? China only built their infrastructure off of sacrificing their people. The same thing with Dubai, right? Of sacrificing their people. But America is still the place, the number one place at that, let me be correct, and is the place. And America is all that in a bag of chips, because if you don't believe me, then why do they still want to come here? See, what happens is that China tends to learn from America. We have the top military. We have the strong numbers in national security, and we are the land of the free, which is why us Americans are able to enjoy the privileges that we are able to enjoy, which is a blessing, because we are top of the top in the best country in the world with so much privilege and so many resources. And for a public servant like Jasmine Crockett to act so ratchet when she doesn't come from a ratchet background, she actually went to private school, but she's cosplaying, making a mockery of black individuals to make it like she can resonate with them, when all she has to do is talk to them like regular people. See, she wants you to believe that the white person is your enemy when it comes to black people, because she banks on the ignorance of individuals her color to vote her in by race baiting and be divisive, instead of operating in unity as we're all Americans, no matter what color you are. But instead, she wants to go the lowest of the lowest, being ratchet, being unprofessional, being ghetto, and being ignorant. And at the end of the day, believe that is leadership. And true leadership is about character. So if you can lie about Jeffrey Epstein to sway voters and create chaos, because we all know the Democratic Party is basically known for violence and chaos. That's all they know how to make. So of course, if push come to shove, don't take full accountability to what you lied on about Jeffrey Epstein, which is one of the individuals who have done such a horrific, disgusting act of things that he have done. Involving individuals as a pedo, but for you to sit there and make it as though Republicans were taking money from Jeffrey Epstein, but come find out the individuals of your own party, such the Democratic Party, was actually taking funds, campaign funds from Jeffrey Epstein, even when he was convicted. But instead, like I said, the real enemy is other countries wanting to try to supersede America. See, black people got it all mixed up. They think that the white man, the white woman, whoever is white is against them. When, to be honest, the play is she's fighting for illegals, and those illegals that come over here from other countries that do the most of anti-American things. We've seen the 2 Afghan nationals within the same week of Thanksgiving week. 2 National Guards got killed. American servicemen and women, or in this case, a man and a woman, Sarah, and I don't know the other gentleman name, but rest in peace to Sarah. She was 20 years old. She passed away, but they were both Americans, and they were proud on representing America and serving for, serving and being of service for the people by being in the service as a National Guardsman and woman. So you mean to tell me with those important things and making sure that we take care of home first, she wants to create division by saying that the white person is against the black one and their white supremacy. And white supremacists should be arrested. When all individuals, white, black, Asian, whatever, if you're a legal migrant, they're living their lives. See, when you have individuals like China and their infrastructure built off the back of sacrificing their people, they really want to come to America, learn at our institutions as colleges, learn at our institutions such as our colleges, learn from us, and they're really the enemy against America, trying to run back to their country after they learn and bite off everything we do, such as infrastructure, learning how to build cars faster, creating plants over there at in their country, such as China, importing goods and selling sometimes fake or acting like they're selling to the major customer base throughout the world, which is the United States of America, because we are the main consumers, which makes these other countries rich. They'll import goods over here and sell to us, sometimes things that are fake, as furniture, things like Temu, and make you believe as an American they sell top of the line things, but really they're shipping things over here to get rich as a country because they need us more than we need them. And then they come over here and make it as though they're better than a black and white American. See, she's vouching for illegals so much, the ones that come over here and want to be in this country, such as the United States, which she is in Congress and is supposed to be operating on the best interests of Americans, but she's not, because she wants to create chaos and divisiveness, speaking this racist nonsense to deflect, because we know that she had lied about Jeffrey Epstein and trying to smear her political opponents because she can't seem to play fair and say the facts. So we know all she know how to do is lie and play ratchet, which is not leadership. And I don't believe that if you continue to lie and think you should be able to be a public servant, then you are corrupting yourself, which she is corrupt. But what I'm saying is, why not take care of home and promote unity in America when we have bigger fish to fry, such as enemies that want to sit here and try to defeat and compete with America, such as China, which these individuals come over here illegal, and those who do the right thing, such as Chinese individuals who come over legally, learn at our colleges, bite off of what we teach them, and then act like they are better than the black and white American. See, the hidden thing is they're hiding is the individuals that they want to distract you with race baiting while they continue to prop up the individuals that are immigrants, illegal immigrants. Because if that's the case, the Afghan national, the one who was making bombs on TikTok, and the Afghanistan guy who killed the two, who shot at the two National Guard men and National Guard women with a marksman rifle, that should be our biggest concern because they weren't properly vetted. But she's so busy over here talking about illegals aren't the biggest of the crime rate when they're over here intentionally trying to dethrone America and kill Americans. But she wants to distract you with the race baiting because they're so busy propping up these illegals, which is empowering them to feel like they're better than Americans when they're really not. Because that's why they're over here in the first place, because they know America is the shit. We are the best country on earth. She's corrupt and she should be removed. But now I want to go to this next clip and I want to get you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Check out this clip next.
Data is only one part of the equation. You have to be able to execute. And the state is 30 million people. It's a $100 million race. As well as, we need to be able to take advantage of the fact that the Republicans are fighting right now and they may have to go to a runoff. And we also need to make sure we have what I consider to be a strong slate. People that can also raise money, people that also have kind of different groups of people that are attracted to them. And so it's more so logistical than anything at this point in time. But for sure, we did not stop our evaluation because the evaluation made it clear that the coalition that won on November 4th, black and brown folk, when you look at the numbers in New Jersey, when you look at the numbers in Virginia, it was making sure that black and brown, number one, showed up and voted the right way. I am the leading candidate when it comes to those two specific constituencies. And so it does make it to where I am very formidable, regardless of kind of what people may want to put out into the atmosphere. The numbers are the numbers.
So you still haven't made a decision?
I am closer to yes than I am no. I will tell you that. But regardless of what people think, strategy matters. And execution matters. And there are a lot of people that don't believe in Texas. And so for me, if I am going to tell people that they need to believe in Texas, I need to not only have numbers on a piece of paper, I need to be able to tell them this is exactly how we're going to get there. And part of that equation, for me, again, comes down to what type of ticket, instead of relying on one person to kind of carry the load, what type of ticket. So I've actually been talking to other candidates, potential candidates as well, trying to recruit them.
I don't believe she thinks she'll win. That's why she's sitting here so busy talking as though she has a slight chance and she's thinking of winning, because as confident and cocky as she is and how she likes to make a mockery of black people and make it like she is a leader and making sure she is the leader in ensuring that the Democratic Party gains the black vote, because she thinks that the way that she thinks and believes that the way to gain black votes is to be ghetto. And that says a lot, because now if you want to gain the black vote, she's putting out that message basically through her actions. Just be ghetto and act ratchet and they'll vote for you every time. Right? So now I want to get to this part where she talks about the Jeffrey Epstein and her lies and how MSNBC held her accountable, because she thought we were dumb, which we're not dumb, the American people. She said what she said. She said it with the full intention of making folks think Republicans took money from the dude who was literally out here trafficking kids, Jeffrey Epstein, and ain't no walking that back down. Because, and then she want to bring up how she only had 20 minutes to research it. I find it interesting. So you telling me as a sitting member of Congress, you jumped on the floor with some of the most inflammatory, career-ruining allegations you could possibly make, and you only had 20 minutes of research behind it, and you a lawyer. You said out your own mouth you like to speak with specificity, right? So what part of Pacific includes dropping Epstein's name without knowing if that was that Epstein? That don't make sense to me. And the people hyping her up like she didn't just throw a Hail Mary with 0 receivers on the field are part of the problem, right? And then she starts talking about they knew I didn't have time to research it fully, like that's an excuse. So I want you guys to check it out because this is a local politician and it's the games they play. And you have to see through the political theater. And I want to mind it out so you guys can see it because she is getting paid and working in Congress with American taxpayers, our tax money. And this is what she's doing, as in deceiving you when she's supposed to be operating on the best interest for you and let alone her Texans constituents.
Wouldn't be a conversation with us if I didn't quickly put you on the spot on something. You made a little bit of news last week when you mistakenly accused Lee Zeldin and another Republican
I didn't
accepting money from Jeffrey Epstein, but it was a different Jeffrey Epstein according to the financial records. Do you want to? I don't want to give you the opportunity to amend that. And
I have no amendments. When I was on the floor, for those that don't know how it works, basically they decided to bring this privilege motion up, and they decided that they wanted to kick Stacey off of her committees because Stacey had received Stacey Plaskett because she had received a donation from Jeffrey Epstein. I had maybe 20 minutes. We researched the FEC, and because I like to speak with specificity, that's kind of what comes with being an attorney. I made clear that there was a Jeffrey Epstein. They knew on the other side that I did not have time to actually pull up and actually research, especially.
And that makes it even worse because she's saying she didn't have time to research it fully. Because that's literally you admitting you stood up in front of the country and made a wild claim with 0 facts, just vibes and agenda. And now instead of owning it like a grown-up, she doubling, tripling, quadrupling down with this nonsense like we can't go back and roll the clip, right? As you guys are seeing it right now, and I'm playing it in this video. So like we saw the clip. You listed off names: Mitt Romney, Lee Zeldin, Winrad, McCain Plon, George Bush, Rick Lazio. Like you were reading off the hit list and you said somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, right? With 0 clarification that you weren't talking about the guy. Like stop playing. You didn't say a different Epstein. You said it like you were trying to make a mic drop moment. Not like you were still trying to verify facts. And the best part, even MSNBC, who asked her this question, now called MS Now, aka MSDNC, had to call her out on her own friendly network. You know it's bad when your own team got to hit you with the we need to talk about that thing you said last week, right? Now, I want to show you guys what she said in regards to the matter because she the one that had the whole mic drop moment when it came to accusing the Democratic Party.
From the fact that the Guardians of Pedophiles is literally trying to protect pedophiles. The president is a convicted felon and an accused sex offender. Stacey Plaskett hasn't been accused of either. So what are we actually here talking about? Trump and Epstein were besties. We've all seen the pictures of them. We saw the birthday book. So why are y'all more interested in talking about Stacey Plaskett than Trump's relationship with the man? When did y'all become so moral? Because I can remember when y'all wouldn't sign the discharge petition. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to vote for this, but you wouldn't sign the discharge petition. Until we decide that we are going to go after the actual rapists and pedophiles, miss me with your moral high ground. Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Winrad, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review. This is absolutely ridiculous. You decide that you want to punish a sitting member of Congress because you are concerned about her text messages. Well, maybe you should be more concerned about those sex tapes that we still haven't gotten access to. Maybe you should be more concerned with the fact that the president, his name is mentioned in the files way more than Stacey Plaskett's name. Listen, I'm not saying that anything is right or wrong, but listen, if you're trying to figure out what's going on with somebody that's a criminal, then you maybe need to talk to their associates. That's exactly why maybe she was getting text messages. I'm not saying she was or wasn't. But considering the fact that they were talking to another associate of the president's and maybe she needed intel, you'd have to go talk to somebody that maybe knows what he's up to.
Time has expired.
So you guys seen that, you heard that. And basically now she's trying to walk back. She's not even trying to walk back what she said. She's not even trying to take accountability, but she listed those names as you guys heard in the clip and she read off of them. So now you got MSN now calling it what it is. And, you know, when it comes to MSNBC now, MS now, you know, they usually let Democrats say whatever they want on there. They might as well hand out pom-poms but even they was like, yeah, nah, we got to address this one. And she still wouldn't admit fault, right? As you hear her talk, which I'll continue to play, they literally gave her a layup to clean it up. Like, do you want to amend your statement? And she said, I have no amendments. So what we doing, right? That's not strength. That's not a backbone. That's not leadership. That's just arrogance mixed with gaslighting. And then when they pressed her in this video, as you guys see her explaining herself, all she kept saying was, I said Jeffrey Epstein, like that somehow makes it less reckless. Like, okay.
That particular one that Lee Zeldin got up in an uproar about was specifically out of the New York area. We know that he was out of that area. So, and this obviously was not done post Jeffrey Epstein's life. So I made sure that I said a Jeffrey Epstein.
But you were trying to insinuate that it was the Jeffrey
I absolutely was insinuating that it could be possible. That is true. But the point is, I never said that it was that specific one because I did not have the adequate time to do it. And so the Jeffrey Epstein has stepped forward, and that's not like, you know, a normal name. And I think that what would have been problematic is if I would have claimed that, say, that happened and it legitimately never happened. So ultimately, he cleared the record. I have not researched further. I've not talked to this doctor.
But you can agree that Lee Zeldin didn't receive money from
I can agree that Lee
Jeffrey
Zeldin
Epstein
has said that he's not received money from the Jeffrey Epstein. Absolutely.
Do you think that your friend Stacey Plaskett made an error in judgment by maintaining ties with Jeffrey Epstein until 2019?
I won't judge what Stacey had going on with Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know the extent of their relationship or anything like that. All I know is that he was a constituent of hers, and most people would expect that their representative, regardless of their records, would be responsive to them. I will tell you that part of
Donald Trump for having a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, but he wasn't his constituent. Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump's relationship had to do with little girls. We've all seen the birthday card. Unlike Stacey, who was an elected congresswoman, one of the things that we are charged with doing is, say someone has a loved one that is in federal custody for a federal crime. We are the ones that are charged with making sure that we can follow through with whatever issues that they have. What we know is that it was a personal relationship that Donald Trump had. We know that Donald Trump was also sued, not once, but at least twice with Jeffrey Epstein with allegations that he had actually committed child sexual rape. So I think that's a little different. I don't think that there was anything as it relates to anything illegal that Stacey had ever been accused of, yet the Republicans were trying to kick her off her committee. Now I'd ask, what type of retribution are they going to seek for the President of the United States, who absolutely went a lot further?
Congresswoman.
Well, there you have it, folks, right? So
I know what you're thinking.
that's what
Here's
she had to
Kristen
say
Bell
in regards to the matter. There you have it with Jasmine Crockett. What I am going to say is she still intentionally said, in response to Democrats being called out for taking money from the Epstein, you were clearly implying a Republicans do it too defense. But now in that backfire, you want to play semantics. Nah, so that's not how that works. You can't play the I'm a lawyer, I speak with facts card and then make emotional, unverified accusations based on 20 minutes of Googling. Either you were lying to spin a narrative or you were lazy with your research and reckless with your words. Either way is bad. And then she goes full gaslight mode saying, well, I can agree that Lee Zeldin says he didn't take money from the Jeffrey Epstein. Like, what? So what does that even mean? Because that's not how facts work. She literally still won't admit she was wrong, as you guys saw. And Then here's where it gets crazy, because the interviewer flips it on her and brings up her own colleague, right? Stacey Plastic, right? This woman, because I like to put a name to a face. That's Stacey Plastic. So, who actually did get money from Epstein, and suddenly Jasmine don't want to judge that. And now it's, well, Epstein was her constituent. Oh, now we doing neighborhood excuses because you just dragged Republicans for allegedly doing the exact same thing, even though they didn't. So when it's your side, it's understandable. When it's Trump, oh, now you want to say he was out here with little girls. Like, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? You acting like Trump and Epstein were in the back of a van with candy handing out flyers to middle schoolers or something. So when the reality is Trump kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago years ago, and even the one lawsuit that had Trump and Epstein's name on it, it got dropped, dismissed, no trial, no nothing. So if we using that standard, then I could just file a lawsuit right now saying Jasmine Crockett is a cult leader running a child trafficking ring, drop it tomorrow, and then go on national TV talking about, well, she was sued. You see how stupid that sounds? So that's exactly what she did to Trump. And it's reckless, it's defamatory, and it's disgusting. And then she closes it all off by saying Republicans tried to kick Stacey off her committee. So what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about Trump? Like, what are you even saying at this point? Because if you're this comfortable lying, twisting words, avoiding accountability, and then weaponizing identity politics to shield yourself when the walls close in, you don't deserve to be in the Senate, period. This ain't about race. This ain't about party. This is about basic truth. And the fact that she still thinks she got a shot in a state like Texas, nah, you don't. Because even when you look at it, even people in your own party start to realize you too radical, you too messy, and too dishonest to lead. And you know what the saddest part is? She really think the voters are dumb enough to fall for it. Like, she's looking people dead in their face and saying, yeah, I say something wild, but I'm not wrong. You're just too dumb to understand me, basically. And that's what this whole thing is, arrogance. And that's why the left, the Democratic Party, stay losing people, because they think voters won't check receipts. But guess what? We got the tape. Everybody's seen it now. So yeah, let that marinate. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.